So in previous session, just we try to understand what are the use cases of blockchain and also what benefits we get if we adopt this technology in the businesses and what type of industries it is going to adapt and also what are the career opportunities and what will be the future if we learn this technology, what type of job opportunities we'll get and how we can build what type of applications we can build. So this is one of the best use case for the supply chain management or the parties who were involved in the system. Here parties maybe comes from different organizations or the situations, it may be whatever parties or actors involved in the system may be distrusted parties. If it is related with this particular organization, sometimes no problem. But sometimes we need to build a systems where people or participants comes from different platforms. So definitely there may be a no trust among the participants. Let us think the above diagram, the top diagram about a car, and a car may transfer the ownership between or among many participants in the life cycle of the car. So think that there is a company like Uber or Ola, if they are offering, if they are giving ownership to their drivers for a particular period of time, let us assume 3 years or 4 years. So how the car life cycle starts right from the manufacturer till end of that car life, maybe scrap merchant. So we can do, and what are the issues in the existing systems and what are the difficulties we are facing and how blockchain will be help us. So suppose a car comes from manufacturer to the dealer and the dealer to the leasing company, say let us assume Uber or Ola, and from there to the driver, and from there to another driver, maybe driver 1 and driver 2, driver 3, and at the end the scrap merchant, maybe after 20 years or 25 years. So here, what are the issues in the existing system? If you observe, all the participants are having their own ledgers or databases. They are maintaining separate ledgers, and in between, sometimes some regulatories or banks or insurance companies are also involving in that car transaction based system. Even some service maintenance based or service oriented companies for the car also involves. Apart from these 5 or 6 or 7 participants, still another 3 to more participants are also joined into the car transaction. So about 10 distrusted parties are involved in the system, and majorly when the car transfers are getting new ownership, there may be some trust related issues or there may be data or any data related issues. We don't know, as a new owner, we don't know the clear cut history of the car. So manufacturer may not provide the full details to the driver 2, maybe after some time. Maybe leasing company may not provide all the details. And suppose if a car exists at driver 1 and driver 1 wants to sell this car to some other person, maybe the new participant or the new owner needs to know the details or the history of the car. So how many times it met with an accident, and how many times the EMIs failed, or how many times this car has gone for the mortgage, or whether this car is properly serviced or not. All this information, it is trust related actually. So maybe the new owner may not get all these information. So maybe he simply believe on the existing owner, and he may he may go with some limited trust, not complete trust. So if we shift this system onto blockchain, what advantages we get? So there may be a number of participants in the network of the blockchain, and The first and foremost thing, we will replace a single ledger instead of all these individual ledgers maintained by individual companies. So we'll replace the database that is called shared ledger. So there will be a one ledger or one blockchain. So that data, whatever it is adding up, it will be added up into the blocks, and blocks will be increased in the network. So the blocks, will call it as shared ledger. So shared ledger means whatever nodes, we'll call it as participants or actors in the system, they can able to access it, the shared ledger. Suppose manufacturer releases the car to the dealer, so there will be one transaction recorded on the blockchain's shared ledger, and next dealer transfers that cars to the leasing company, Uber or Ola. So there may be another transaction posted on the blockchain. So from third party to fourth party, another transaction will be recorded. Suppose from fourth party, if it goes to any loan or any service company, again the transaction will be recorded on the blockchain. So here there are two concepts. One is shared ledger and smart contracts. So these two will be recorded on the blockchain system. And all these individual nodes, so physically what we are seeing, all these ledgers are centralized, but which is not true. So all these nodes are having same ledgers. Yesterday we have seen P1, P2, P3 nodes are having same ledger called L1. Okay, so each node is having the same ledger and the same smart contracts. So for all the transactions, whatever added up onto the blockchain blocks, it will be added in all the nodes actually. So tomorrow, if any new owner wants to know about the details, definitely the data will be comes from all the distrusted parties. And if anyone wants to modify the data, it should be accepted by at least 51% of the nodes in the network. So definitely, if it is mutual agreement, not by single node decision actually, the adding up the data onto the blockchain, it will be a mutual agreement. So at least 51% of the nodes agreed, then only the data will be, the transaction will be added up into the ledger. So at least we can increase the trust. So even between or among these distrusted parties, we are, with the help of consensus mechanisms, so we are improving the trust. So here, what type of issues we are resolving? Number one, we are improving the trust. So any new owner comes into the picture, definitely they can access all the history of the car, and also they can take quick decisions actually. How many times the car was met with an accident, and how many what we call EMI spending still in terms of mortgage. So even if there are any chalanas from the RTA department, so all information will be available, and new owner, they can get quick decisions. So in terms of estimation of the car price and other things, they can able to take the decisions. So here the beauty it is, we can improve the trust among all the distrusted parties. And also one more use case, if you observe, it is for supply chain management. So right from farming house to the kitchen, end user's kitchen, the products are either it may be food products or luxurious products. It may be, so the same use case, we can use it for even drugs or medicines also. So here in supply chain, the product may be shifted from one location to another location with the help of shipment companies. So suppose if it is a farming, if it is a food product, so right from farming house to storage to food processing company, from there food manufacturer, from manufacturer to distributor, there to retailer to the end user. So if end user wants to know about the history of this product, right from the farming house to till the retailer, so he can able to understand which shipment company is involved and what food processing companies involved, and what manufacturing companies involved, and what ingredients involved, everything, it will be recorded on the blockchain with the help of shared ledger. So nowadays, in majority of the supply chain companies, uh, they don't have trust actually. Suppose if the product comes from one location to another location, we don't know whether this product is properly comes, or it comes up with any damaged kind of thing, and where it was damaged. And some food products we need to maintain some in freezing conditions, and also we don't know whose mistake it is. Suppose if the product comes with a damaged condition, so who made this mistake? At what point the mistake happened? Whether the shipment company maintains proper freezing condition or not. Here IoT also comes into the picture. So while shipping that product, maybe IoT sensor data will record on the blockchain. So easily we can identify where the mistake happened and who will be the responsible for this. And also end user has some trust. So whatever parties involved, really this product comes from a particular food manufacturing company or not, or is this product is involved in any fake kind of things. At least we can check with the main company's data. So the end user can check with the product with the main food manufacturing company or the main systems data. So the same use case we can apply it for the medicines as well. So how we can prevent counterfeit drugs? So drug manufacturing company to distributor, distributor to retailer, retailer to patient. So at the end, patient wants to know whether this particular item or product is fake or genuine. So with the help of smart contract, smartphone app, so definitely they can check up with the main drug manufacturing company database. So if all these ledgers is in shared position on the blockchain, definitely we can improve the trust. So in future, definitely these kind of trust related use cases we may build using this technology, right? So generally in Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies, how the transactions will be happen. So in any use case, the life cycle of the transaction is same. So first we need to create the transaction. Next we need to hash it. That is called as signing the transaction. Next, whoever created this transaction in terms of blocks, so the block should be broadcasted to the network, and the network nodes should validate the data, and 51% of the nodes, it's depend on consensus mechanism. Again, we have different consensus algorithms, proof of work, proof of stake. I will take separate class on that. So which mechanism, which consensus mechanism is the best one? Definitely we can see based on the business requirements. So at least in common perspective, adding up the data onto the blockchain blocks will be not taken by single machine or single node. It will be mutual agreement by majority of the machines, at least 51% of the machines. So at least we can improve the trust. So already we have covered this slide in previous session. So there are different frameworks actually, and all these frameworks are aimed to build different business applications actually. So now the market is mainly for Ethereum and Hyperledger Fabric, and after that Corda and Hyperledger Sawtooth is going to come into the next line. So after that Quorum is in the next row. So these 5 are popular frameworks. So Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, Corda, Sawtooth, and Quorum. So these are the companies already started their projects using different frameworks actually. And when we observe the history of the blockchain, somewhere 2008 October, I think that time world was in a big crisis. So that time one person named called Satoshi Nakamoto, he published We don't know whether the person is he or she or a company or a group of companies. Still, it is mysterious. So that time, one article was published, one white paper was published with all these concepts with the name blockchain, and it is a new kind of electronic payment system. So entire world actually shown more interest in that white paper, and majority of the big companies, they thought how it will be, because many of the central banks decisions may decrease the local currency. So that's why it was the white paper was grabbed more attention that time, somewhere in 2008. And after few months, somewhere in 2009 February, so officially the first Bitcoin operation started. As per my knowledge, the first Bitcoin transaction was done by, I think, for a pizza payment actually. Maybe it was started with few cents. And after that, it was grown like anything. So from few cents to around, it was touched 16,000, 17,000 US dollars. Now it is trading about 10,000 USD. So here we are not encouraging any cryptocurrencies actually. So the thing is, we need to understand the power of the technology behind this application. So slowly, entire blockchain world comes from that transactions. So till 2014, entire blockchain world knows about only Bitcoin transactions. There was no much progress. So first time in 2014, Ethereum founders, I think Vitalik, he came from Bitcoin only, and he started his own organization. He published one white paper about Ethereum. So first time they mentioned about smart contracts in their white paper. So entire world shocked actually with the help of the smart contracts. So the concept it is to improve, the smart contracts will improve the machine-to-machine communication. Maybe in future, we can replace many humans with the smart contracts. Okay, so many decisions will be taken by the systems only with the help of smart contracts. Okay, so from 2014 to till 2018, it was slowly build up some pilot projects using Ethereum, and also in somewhere in 2017 or end of 16, some more few more frameworks released like Hyperledger Fabric and Sawtooth. I think somewhere in 2018 January they released. It's just 1.5 years ago. So many frameworks like Quorum, Corda, all these released somewhere in 2017. So here my point, what is the history actually? How we can say the versions of the blockchain? Maybe before 2000, starting of 2009 to till 2014, it is completely based on Bitcoin transactions only. Slowly, from 2014 to 2017 or 18, it's slowly built up the smart contracts. Now from 2018 onwards, so blockchain world slowly shifts to applications. So transactions to smart contracts and smart contracts to applications. Maybe by end of 2019 or starting of early 2020, we may see some use cases rather than Bitcoins, rather than cryptocurrencies. We may see some general applications. So countries like Dubai, Mauritius, these are going to shift their all government-related operations on completely onto blockchain technology, because we can observe more trust, we can observe more security, and also we can observe less transaction costs, and with more transparent if it is required, and also privacy if it is required, and also we can reduce the risk, and also we can go with less time and with high efficiency. So these are the advantages. So what type of blockchains we can, or type of blockchain applications we can build? This is one interesting point actually. There was a big confusion. I would like to explain. Some buzzwords are there: permissionless, permission, public, private. But broadly, we can say three types of blockchain network applications we can build: public, private, and consortium. So I will give one small example. What is public blockchain network application? So all these cryptocurrencies, majority of the cryptocurrencies are public blockchain network applications. So here, if you observe, there are about more than 2,000 to 3,000 cryptocurrencies are available. So if you observe this application, it is public blockchain network application. So what do you mean by public blockchain network application? So that means if you want to make the transaction in terms of a retail user or a general public, they need not to take any permission actually. It is public, it is for public. Suppose tomorrow, if any bank, private bank or public bank comes into the picture, and bank, they cannot directly give you the transaction chance. So definitely you need to be registered with the bank in terms of KYC and all. And once you are authorized, then only you can able to do the transactions. So here, what is the difference between public blockchain and private blockchain? So public blockchain, it is talking about anyone can participate for transactions. Okay, that is called as public, where there is a network has some restrictions, that we can call it as private. So the best example it is for cryptocurrencies are public blockchain network applications, and bank applications or supply chain applications, all these will be private blockchain network applications. So sometimes we need to build hybrid applications, both some part will be public and some part will be private, that we will call it as consortium based. So the best frameworks to develop these kind of applications, public or private, generally Ethereum is best suited for public blockchain network applications, and the remaining frameworks in Hyperledger family like Fabric, Sawtooth, Corda, all these will be best suited for to build private blockchain network applications. Okay, so and for consortium, a few applications already built using R3 Corda. So it is almost all like private only consortium is. So here point is one more buzzword actually, permissioned and permissionless. So in Bitcoin, who are all the actors actually? So there may be nodes, there may be a retail users in Bitcoin transactions, right? So what is a node? Node is a computer or server or peer in the network. Already we have seen in last session. So if you want to become, you or I want to become a member or node in the Bitcoin network, you need not to take any permission. Okay, if you have proper infrastructure and proper software, definitely you can join in the network as another node. That is called as permissionless. So if you want to become, if you want to set up the infrastructure as a node in the network, that is called as permission or permissionless. So in terms of public and permissionless, sometimes it looks like similar, but try to understand the little bit difference is there. Public and permissionless, these two are applicable for Bitcoin. So public, it is talking about in terms of transactions by the retail users. Permissionless, it is talking about in terms of hardware configurations. So if you want to perform the transactions as a retail user, you don't require a node. If you and I want to buy the Bitcoins, we don't require any infrastructure. We can directly able to connect any nearby node and we can able to do the transactions. But in terms of permissionless means it should be talking about a server. So if you want to configure or if you want to join as a miner or node in the network of the Bitcoin, you don't require any permission. That we can call it as permissionless. So permission, it is best suited for private applications. So suppose say some XYZ bank comes onto the blockchain for the banking transactions. So definitely all the nodes will be fixed up by the company or the bank. So you and I cannot do the transactions or cannot join as a node or miner in the network. Why? Because all nodes are fixed up by the bank. So definitely no other extra servers cannot be permitted. So public and permissionless is best suited for Bitcoin, and private and permissioned is for the any banking related application or supply chain. All these majority of the use cases, it's for private one. Okay, so hope you understand what is public, what is private, what is consortium, and what is permission and what is permissionless. Is that fine, Mr. Nataraj?
Yeah. All right.
So today we'll spend some time for mining and consensus. Yesterday we just talked about the highlights. So we'll take one use case. Sorry.
Rav, actually, this is Harish. I am having one question here.
Yeah.
So, is there any benefit if we join in the public network to validate the transaction?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, there is a huge reward. I will show you practically what is the reward if you join as a miner in the network. We have 10 minutes time. If it closes, please do rejoin. So I will show you the reward, what if you join as a miner. This is latest block on Bitcoin application, and a few minutes back it was created. So here the reward is, it is very interesting actually. The reward is 12.5 Bitcoins actually. In terms of USD, it is almost 120K. So whoever has created this block, they got the reward. It's worth of 12.5 Bitcoins, which is equivalent to, with the current price, it is showing 120K USD. It's a huge reward actually. Okay, so let me start what exactly this reward and how it will be. So first, we understand what is a transaction and what is block, what is blockchain. So we'll talk about Bitcoin, how it will be the transaction model. So generally, who creates these transactions? These transactions will be created by the retail public, right? You and I, we can buy and sell the Bitcoins. So who creates these blocks? So these blocks will be created by nodes, node or miner or server or peer in the network. So this is talking about permission or permissionless. This is transactions are talking about in terms of retail users, it is public. So if anyone joins as a miner in the Bitcoin, there are about 35,000 nodes right now throughout world for Bitcoin. If anyone wants to join as another node, definitely we can join, but it costs a huge investment actually. If you want to join as a miner in the network, we need to buy proper infrastructure, and also it will give high electricity bills. So in next session, I will explain the internals. So here, for every node, they would like to compete with each other to get that huge reward actually. So what is the reward? It's 12.5 BTC, and the time to create a block on an average in Bitcoin, it is about 10 minutes. Think that for every 10 minutes, a new block is adding up into the blockchain. Now, what is the block number? It is about 592K, right? So about 5,992,770. In next 10 minutes, it will be created another block. So for every 10 minutes, it is the 12.5 Bitcoins are coming up into the picture, into the market. And for every 10 minutes, the new block is getting created. And actually, all these points are very much important. In interviews, these points are asking. what is the Bitcoin block time, everything, what is reward. And one more thing, it was started, the first operation started somewhere in 2009 February, and in 2009 the reward was 50 BTC. For every block it is 50 BTC. So think how many Bitcoins per day comes into the market, or how many blocks per day it is coming into the market. So for every 10 minutes, a new block, right? And for every 1 hour, it is 6 blocks. So 6 into 24. I think it is about 144 blocks per day. So from last 10 years, so that's why it is reached about nearly close to 600,000 blocks. So per day, 144 blocks are generating. And for each block, somewhere in 2009, we got reward of 50 BTC. Now, what is the reward for each block? Somewhere in 2019, right? Now it is showing, now the reward it is 12.5 Bitcoins. So here the reward is half for every 4 years. Maybe 2009, 10, 11, 12, maybe I'm not sure exact years, but logically you can think for every 4 years, the reward is coming down by half. So from 2015, 16, 17, 18, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? It's wrong. 13, 14, 15, 16. It is 25 Bitcoins. From 2017, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, it's correct. 2020 up to 2020 March, May, I think I have seen some articles. So up to that, it is 12.5 Bitcoins for every block. So from 2020 May, I think, it will become, for next 4 years, it will become 6.25 Bitcoins as reward for every block. So this is the reward model. And to get this huge reward, all participants, whatever 35,000 nodes, they will compete with each other to create the block. Whoever creates the block, that person will get this 25 or 12.5 Bitcoins. So if you want, you can see the hash code of the pool of the block, I think Ant pool. This was got that reward 12.5 BTC. And there is a cap actually in Bitcoin. So it is 21 million, I think. Another 3 minutes time is there. If it is lost, you can rejoin. So now the total supply of Bitcoins, it is 17.91 million. So it is close to 18 million. So maybe there is a cap, 21 million. After 21 million, no mining actually, no new Bitcoins. So think that how many Bitcoins are coming into the market every day. So 12.5 Bitcoins for every 10 minutes right now. So which is equal to 12.5. So from last 3.5 years, it is giving 12.5 Bitcoins for every 10 minutes. So 12.5 into 6, it is 75 Bitcoins per hour. New Bitcoins added up into the market, and into 24. Per day, it is about 1800 Bitcoins. New Bitcoins comes into the market. Okay, I think by end of 2140, it will reach that 21 million Bitcoins. Okay, so after that, no mining, and yeah, I will explain the internals of how this reward will be get or owned by a particular node among 35,000 nodes. There is a mechanism actually. So they will compete with each other to get that huge reward. So how they will get? So for every block will be created by one particular node only in the network. out of 35,000 nodes. Maybe in future nodes may increase or decrease. So all nodes, they are trying to get that reward. For every 10 minutes there is a new reward, right? So we'll almost all time is over, so please do rejoin. We will explain more in depth, more how the winner will get this reward. So what is the difficulties they face, so we'll see. So this 21 million, maybe by end of 2140 it will be reached. From there, no new mining concept or no new bitcoins. Only it will be rotated or among whatever 21 million is there, right? So it will be rotated. Maybe this is one of the reason recently the prices are going up. So recently the price was fallen down around 3,500 USD, and now from there it was reached around say 10,000 or 11,000. Now it is trading somewhere 10,000.